So once your Photoshop file is cleaned up and ready to bring into Illustrator, in order to live trace, you're going to go to File, and let's just go ahead and make a new document. We're making a new Illustrator document, and this is fine for now. I'll say create. We can always change this stuff later. So why don't we bring in our file that we want to live trace? So we need to go to File. Why don't we place it? And you can find your Photoshop file and place it. It's going to look like this, and you're just going to click one time. So now that we have this, let's change the canvas. If you go to this tool right here, this is an artboard tool, and you can change the size of the canvas. So let's just make it the size that actually works with the image that we placed in. So once you drag these borders around, you can go back up to the Move tool, the Selection tool. To get out, we need to get back out of the artboard tool. So the next thing, let's drag properties over. If you have this selected, the thing that you just brought in, you're going to be able to click on this properties window. So let's go ahead and click on image trace, and let's go ahead and get sketched art. This is making a preview for me. So this is what it's going to look like. I can zoom in a little to see. You can see the thing that I wrote in pen didn't really work so well. The stuff I wrote in Sharpie looked a little better. Let's click on this thing, and this is image trace. It allows you to change more here. So it's probably going to look a little more like this. I want you to go to Advanced, click on this arrow, and let's ignore the white and see how that looks. And then you can change certain things, right? So make sure it's in black and white, not grayscale or color. And you can change, we want it fills, no strokes. You can give it different looking corners and change things like that. So once you like it, you're just going to press expand. If you don't press expand, it's not going to actually vectorize anything, so make sure that you press expand when you're finished. And then why don't you go ahead and press ungroup. Now let's deselect. So I'm taking the selection tool, I'm going to click off of it, and now if I click on one thing, it should just grab that one area because I ungrouped it. Say for instance, just this, I'm selecting just this K, but I want this to be all together. So I'm going to click and drag a box around everything I want to select, and I can just group it now very easily, so that when I click off of it, I deselect it, and I go ahead and select it again, it's a group. Alright, so let's begin to get two things that I like together now. So I like this. So I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna make a new file. So File, New. Let's just say Create for now, and I'm pasting. So this is my my area, and let's make this artboard a little bit smaller to kind of match. Whoa! I just created a new artboard. If that happens, just press Delete. If I click and drag, I can actually move the entire artboard, but I want to change the size, so let's do this. Okay, and I have space on the left left side to add in another word, I'm going to go back to here and I want to select, maybe I like the look of this one more than this one. So I'm going to copy that and we'll go in here and I'll paste it, and I want to bring it up to here. I want to group it all together so that this little dot of the eye is together with everything. If I go to this corner here, I can rotate it, and let's start using the guides now to help us with the alignment of everything. So I want you to go to View, and let's show the rulers and show, which is Command R. Let's grab one from the top. You're clicking and dragging down, and we're going to put it on the baseline. The baseline is where everything sits, right? I'm going to click on this, and I want it to also be aligned on the baseline. I might decide it needs to be rotated in the way that I want it to be. I'm going to click and drag a guide down. We want it to be at the cap height, which is the top of the capital letters. I'm going to click on this one. I want this to be taller. I want this K to be the same height as that one. I can hide and show the guides if I go to View and Rulers and Hide. I could also just press Command R. Sorry. That hides or shows the rulers. We want the guides, hide guides, which is Command semicolon or Control semicolon. So at this point, you can adjust things to how it might look together. I'm going to go to the Artboard tool here and make the size of the artboard the actual size of my image. To get out of this, instead of pressing Enter, just press the Selection tool, which is also V. If I want to change, say I like it and I want to group this whole thing, so let's select everything. We're going to go to Object, Group, which is also Command G. And now let's change the fill. So let's go here, and what if I want to make it red? I'll say OK. So look at how that's still in gray mode, because that's how we saved it originally in Photoshop. So you're going to go to Edit, Edit Colors. You can recolor the artwork. Let's just pick a random color. We just need to bring it in. So if you're having trouble getting it to become anything but grayscale, that's how you would change that. And you could, if it's still being weird, go in here and adjust the saturation. That will sometimes do it. And just say OK. Okay. So this, now when you change the color by clicking on the fill, it should change that. So, you can change the color to fit what makes sense to you. Now let's save this. So I think it makes sense to just have a logo in black. So let's change it back to black for now. Say OK. We want to save this for web, so File, Export, Save for Web. And let's do 2 up. Let's do JPEG, and it's going to be 6K, which is super tiny. That's fine. You can see the image size is pretty small too. So we'll say save, and this is my name, and this is hand lettering, and it's a JPEG. So I want to save it somewhere that I know where it is, and I'll say save. And let's just make sure that it's there. It's on the desktop, and it's my name and lettering. So you could see that. So I could use that as a logo, as a signature. All right, so that is how to live trace in Illustrator.